That's the reason they wanted to kill me.
Paramjeet Singh Panjwar was shot dead.
UK-based Sikh campaigner has died in the early hours of this morning.
Police say the killing of a man outside a Sikh temple Sunday night appears to have been targeted.
Foreign government in the killing of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil is an unacceptable violation of our sovereignty.
Emotions in the local Sikh community after arrests were made in the killing of activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
Police in British Columbia say the man killed outside a Sikh temple Sunday night appears to have been targeted. They've identified the shooting victim as the temple's president, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
June 18th, 2023. Surrey, British Columbia. Just after 8 in the evening, prayers end at the Guru Nanak Sikh Gurdwara. A 45-year-old man walks across the parking lot to his gray pickup truck. Two vehicles slide in and box him against the curb. He never reaches the road. This is the story of that killing.
The killing of a man outside a Sikh
There's been a murder investigation.
They found Nijjar inside a pickup truck with gunshot wounds where he died of his injuries.
Make no mistake, this is a political assassination.
And the two very different answers to who ordered it. The man is Hardeep Singh Nijjar. In Canada, he is a plumber, a father, and the president of his temple. In India, he is a name on a wanted list.
Issue is not about freedom of expression, but advocating violence and legitimizing terrorism.
He left Punjab in 1997 and started over in Surrey. He fixed pipes, he raised a family. He also built something larger. Nijjar became a face of the Khalistan movement, the campaign for a separate Sikh homeland cut out of northern India. He organized unofficial referendums. He gathered crowds in the thousands. India accused him of directing a militant group and in 2020 formally declared him a terrorist.
I don't think we could have done anything else. Some people feel we should have acted earlier, and some that we should not have acted.
Nijjar said the charge was political. He told people he was being followed. Friends say Canadian intelligence warned him to be careful. On that June evening, two masked men crossed the lot and fired into his truck. Then they were gone to India. Nijjar was not an activist. He was, in New Delhi's telling, the operational head of a banned militant outfit, a man accused of training fighters and plotting attacks inside Punjab. India had asked for his extradition. It had put a bounty on information about him. Nijjar denied all of it and kept campaigning. Whatever the truth of the charges, they explained the stakes. To one government, he was a citizen exercising free speech. To another, he was a terrorist beyond its reach. That gap is where the killing lives. For 3 months, nothing moved. The case looked like another unsolved shooting in a busy suburb.
Police in British Columbia say the man killed outside a Sikh temple Sunday night appears to have been targeted. They've identified the shooting victim as the temple's president, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
Then the Prime Minister of Canada rose in the House of Commons. On September 18, 2023, Justin Trudeau said something no Western leader had said out loud before.
Over the past number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
Canadian agencies, he told Parliament, were pursuing credible allegations that agents of the government of India were tied to the murder of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. The reaction was immediate. India called the claim absurd and motivated. Diplomats were expelled in both directions. India suspended visa services for Canadians. It ordered Canada to pull dozens of diplomats out of the country. Trade talks stopped. Two of the world's largest democracies stopped talking. Timing sharpened the shock. Days before the announcement, Trudeau had sat across from India's Prime Minister at a G20 summit in New Delhi.
Now, in a display of diplomatic courtesy and a mark of good gesture,
the meeting was visibly cold. Then he flew home and named India in a killing, according to news reports. Intelligence shared among Canada's Five Eyes allies helped shape the accusation. This was not a lone theory from one government. It was allies signaled, built on something. To many, the accusation still sounded impossible. Then, a second case surfaced 1,000 miles south. American prosecutors revealed a plot of their own. In the same summer of 2023, they said, an Indian intelligence officer had directed a scheme to murder a Sikh activist in New York. The target was Gurpatwant Singh Panoon.
That's the reason they killed Nijjar. That's the reason they wanted to kill me.
A lawyer who campaigned for Khalistan and held American citizenship. The middleman, an Indian named Nikhil Gupta, tried to hire a contract killer. The killer was an undercover American agent. The plot collapsed, but the paperwork named an official inside the Indian state, a man later identified as Vikash Yadav. 2 Sikh targets, 2 countries, 1 summer. The pattern was hard to ignore. A year later, Canada's police went further than its politicians. In October 2024, the RCMP called a press conference and made an extraordinary claim. Agents of the Indian government, they alleged, were using organized crime networks to threaten, extort, and kill on Canadian streets. Then they named the tool a gang, the Bishnoi network. Canada expelled 6 senior Indian diplomats, including the High Commissioner. India expelled 6 Canadians in return.
Hardeep Singh is a police chief in India charged with attempting to extort victims here in Los Angeles.
The rupture was now total. So who is Lawrence Bishnoi? He is not an agent or a soldier. He is a gangster, and he has spent most of his adult life in prison. He was born Goldy Brar into the Bishnoi community of Punjab, a community that treats certain wildlife as sacred. He entered student politics at a Punjab university around 2011. He learned early that fear was a kind of currency. He turned classmates into followers and followers into a crew. The crew became a network. By the time the courts caught up with him, the brand was bigger than the man. Indian investigators say Bishnoi commands more than 700 members from inside a locked cell. Smuggled phones, trusted proxies. Orders passed through jailhouse visitors and posted openly on social media. His reach runs through Punjab, across North America, and into the Gulf. The gang built its reputation on killings the whole country could see. In May 2022, the Punjabi singer Sidhu Moosewala was shot dead near his village, a day after his security detail was cut back. Bishnoi sat in a Delhi jail. His associate, Goldy Brar, claimed the murder from Canada. That was the method. The boss inside. The trigger far away. The gang did not hide. It advertised it carried a public feud with the Bollywood star Salman Khan, rooted in an old case involving a protected animal the Bishnoi consider holy. In 2024, gunmen fired outside Khan's Mumbai home. Months later, a politician close to Khan, Baba Siddique, was shot dead in the same city. A gang member claimed that killing too. The message was always the same. No distance was safe. Goldy Brar is the name that keeps returning. Born Satinderjeet Singh in Punjab, he reached Canada on a student visa in 2017 and rose to run the enterprise across North America. He is the hand that operates where Bishnoi cannot, an ocean from the cell that gives the orders. The network did not only kill, it taxed. Across British Columbia, South Asian business owners began receiving calls and letters, pay or burn. One letter, shown by investigators, boasted of 1,000-foot soldiers standing behind the demand. Trucking firms, restaurants, jewelers. Some paid in silence. Those who refused sometimes woke to gunfire against their storefronts. In late 2023, shots were fired at the home of a well-known Punjabi music star in the Vancouver area. The gang claimed it and posted a warning in Punjabi: "No one can save you from us." For a diaspora that had crossed an ocean to feel safe, the old fear had followed them home. Follow the order, and it runs the length of the planet. It starts in a cell in India, where a boss with a phone chooses a name. It passes to a lieutenant abroad, a man like Goldy Brar. He finds local hands, often young men who arrived on student or work visas, in debt and easy to direct. They are given a photo, an address, a car. They are promised money and status. Most have never met the man who sent them. That is the design. The person who pulls the trigger and the person who gives the order never share a room or a country. It makes the chain almost impossible to prove. Inside Canada, the arrests had already been made. 4 Indian nationals living quietly in Alberta and Ontario were charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy. Prosecutors described a unit, the 2 shooters, the driver, the spotter. All 4 denied the charges. All 4 are still working their way toward trial years after the shooting. Then, in July 2026, the story turned once more. In a federal courthouse in Los Angeles, American prosecutors unsealed 3 separate indictments and gave the operation a name. Operation Hardball. 37 defendants. 24 arrests across 3 continents. 1,000 kilograms of cocaine seized.
My office is unsealing 3 indictments, charging 37 defendants with racketeering, extortion, and drug trafficking to India-based organized crime groups.
2 crime bosses accused of running global empires from prison cells. At the center of one indictment stood Lawrence Bishnoi. The document says Bishnoi and Goldy Brar ordered the assassination of a Sikh leader in Surrey. It says Bishnoi supplied a co-conspirator with a photograph and a set of addresses. It says 2 men did the rest, killing the target as he left the Gurdwara. The victim appears under 3 initials only. HSN. The FBI put Goldy Brar on a wanted poster and offered $50,000 for him. Bishnoi was not alone in the sweep. 2 other Indian crime networks were charged in the same operation, one led by a rival gangster who also ran his empire from an Indian jail. Investigators seized guns, cash, and cocaine by the ton. The head of the RCMP called it a milestone. Proof of what could happen when countries stopped guarding their own corners and worked the case together. But read what the American case does not say. It describes a gang. It does not describe a government. There is no minister in the indictment, no spy agency, no order from a capital, and in the same week, Canadian officials quietly changed their language. Nothing, they now said, had surfaced tying the government of India to the murder. The organized crime investigation pointed at a criminal syndicate. It did not point at a state. So, which version is the truth? In 2024, Canadian police said the gang was acting on behalf of India. In 2026, prosecutors on both sides of the border said the gang was acting for itself. Those 2 sentences cannot both be fully correct, and neither has been proven in a courtroom. Hold them next to the New York case, and the picture gets stranger, not clearer. In that plot, an Indian official was named. In this one, he vanished. Same community, same year. 2 different answers. While the paperwork shifted, so did the politics. The 2 governments that had stopped speaking began signing deals. A new Canadian Prime Minister flew to New Delhi, the first such visit in years. Trade targets in the tens of billions, a long-term uranium contract, handshakes arranged for the cameras. The accusation that once froze an entire relationship slid almost silently to the edge of the table. Officials called it a thaw. They were careful not to call it a resolution, because nothing was resolved. Lawrence Bishnoi still runs his network from a prison cell in India. Goldy Brar is still free, now hunted by the FBI. Vikash Yadav, the officer named in the New York plot, is still at large. The 4 accused in Surrey still wait for a verdict, and underneath every indictment sits a single question that no court in any country has answered. Did the gang kill for money, or did someone hand it the names?